Wow, my goodness. I'm actually sitting here. It's quite amazing. I am not a fan of being in front of the camera, but King Von Nugget is here representing. He's the ambassador for Angel PawPrint, and this is our first annual candlelight memorial. It has been a rough day for me. Angel, my baby who inspired it all, she passed away 2 years ago today. And it was probably one of the absolute most horrific experiences for me. Shortly after, when I'm done with this little broadcast, I will be showing a video, or linking to a video, which you can find on the page. It is basically a 12-minute, treats, of course. How do we work otherwise? Not for free. And the video will basically show the entire journey. I knew Angel was sick and that her time was slowly approaching. So when we went on vacation for a short little weekend trip, she kind of like gave me the signs, and this is a document of our last 24 hours together, and then the whole journey through the euthanasia process and the cremation. So it's very, very much from my heart, from really gut-wrenching, and I hope that it helps some pet parents that are facing that really difficult decision. I know it's super, super hard, and we always look for that one sign, but they did have a little sip of water, and they did wiggle their tail, and he did pick up his toy today. Well, a lot of times it's just because that's what they do. They're there to please us. So it's not always very easy to make that decision, sorry, but we always have to keep in mind the best interest of our babies. And having said that, I just wanted to welcome, of course, the guest of honor, which is right here. This is Angel. It was, of course, it had to be a pink urn for me. There's some other little select pieces here that I want to mention. This was my absolute favorite image of her and me. Let me show you here. Let's see here. It is her and I deeply engaged and looking at each other there. And then just a few things that I sort of collected as pieces for my grief journey. This thing I found very calming. Has a little picture of her, and then I just kind of like hold it and hug it and kiss. We give it kisses. Thank you, sir. I know you're just working for treats, but that's okay. So I think, as with anything, when any pet passes, it's a very, very individual experience for every pet owner. And there is no two alike. There is no one should really judge what is right, what is wrong, what it should be, how long it should take. There is no such thing. Everything is what you want it to be. How you heal, how you had your relationship with your pet, and there is for no one to say what is right or wrong. Me, I'm the crazy dog lady. What can I say? That's just me, and everybody knows it. And that's okay. I don't ever ask for approval from somebody when it came to that, but I think that for some people that do not understand the process, for some people that are very attached, instead of just saying, oh, it was just a pet, or it was just a dog, or just a cat, why not just allow that person to go through the emotion? And if you aren't able to provide that support, the emotional support and guidance, instead just kind of like take a step back, let them have their process. Don't sort of agonize the whole situation by being insensitive, because me, I was very insensitive. You could have said the wind was blowing and I would have probably lashed out with all claws. So when somebody is very attached, I think it's just important, as with anybody, show respect for their grief. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you understand it or not, just respect. That's all that is very important. My light over there is having like some disco moment, so I apologize for that, but it's kind of interesting. Hey, King, I know you work for treats. Hey, here. Look, good boy, stay there. There. Okay, so what I wanted to do, while I still sort of don't cry too much, I wanted to acknowledge some babies that have passed. There's a lady that I met on Facebook. Her name is Therese, and she has quite a little list. She has had 7 pit bull terriers that has passed, and in no specific order. I want to acknowledge and send blessings to Pacino, Apache, Starlit, Steel, Samurai, Sock M, and Boa. She also had 2 cats, Pumpkin and Baby Girl. And then 2 other dogs. One was a Brittany Spaniel, which I never heard of, interestingly enough, that was named Kelly, and a Beagle Hound mix named Kinos. That is quite a few friends, best friends that have passed as family members. And it doesn't get easier. It never gets easier, and every time is different. And also a very dear friend of mine, Sharon, who is very involved with rescues and pit bulls specifically. I want to acknowledge her babies. One was Betty, the miniature poodle, Vanilla Bean, the cute little Maltese, Fluffer Nutter, that was the toy poodle, and last but certainly not least, Peanut, the pit bull. Peanut has a very special story also. I hope to tell it more in detail one day, but he has inspired, and he was sort of like the muse for a children's book to sort of teach everybody about what an actually nice, good breed it is. And one person that I really want to acknowledge is my friend Sean. His baby kitty, his name was Kaczynski. He passed this Monday, just gone, July 3rd, and for that, I want to hold him specifically very much, uplift him, pray for him, and he's very sad at the moment, and, sorry, it makes me sad too. Gosh, this is what happens when you have such a soft heart. So, slap me into big gear again. So Kaczynski had kidney failure and diabetes, and Sean had him for emotional support for his own illnesses, so it's been a very difficult week for him. And look at me, I'm just like one big bleeding heart, and there's no script to this. This is what I do. Oh my God, I told everyone I was going to be a blubbering mess, and now I'm a blubbering mess. Oh well. So, compose myself, have a sip of water. Mascara not running. What I have created, let's go to this one. It's a little cute memory box that I created for Angel. And in here, I have a paw print that's very precious to me, that Dr. Toby Goldman of Lap of Love, he did this for me when he was here on her last night. And also I got a little fur in a clipping there. And then it's very nice. One thing that's very nice to receive when you have lost a pet is actually just a sympathy card. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. Just somebody that acknowledges that they feel your pain, they feel your sorrow. So this one was from, again, Dr. Toby Goldman. I just want to read that. It says, "Dear Annalie, thank you for allowing me to come and help your precious Angel. She was such a sweet dog with an expressive face. May her memory be a special blessing and a reason to smile. With warm regards, Dr. Toby Goldman." And that is just it. They should be our reason to smile. I know we're sad, I know we're crying, but ultimately it's about celebrating the life, the joy that we had together with them when they were here with us. It's not easy, I know. Trust me, I was certainly not a prime example of, speaking of what I'm saying right now. I had a very cute card from my friend, Tammy, who says, "May the memories you hold in your heart bring healing and peace to your soul." And that was from Tammy, Walter, and all the furry family. She has quite a few little furry babies. And then a very dear friend of mine that I used to work with, Yolanda, she sent me this one. It says, "In the loss of your pet, a pet is a special part of your family who will always have a very special place in your heart. They are gone from our sight, but never our memory. Gone from our hearing, but never our hearts. Gone from our touch, but their presence is felt. And the love that they gave us never departs." With deepest sympathy. That was from Yolanda. That was so sweet. I really appreciated that. Especially when you're at home and you're absolutely freaked out and you think the world is the most awful place to be in at the moment. Just a little card is such an uplifting thing. And of course also from Craig Road Pet Cemetery that I used for her cremation. Just a cute little card here. "Thinking of you." Just something like that. And a whole long verse there that I'm not going to read. But just to have something like this, I haven't finished this one, I just started it. I'm gonna put photos here, add some more things in, maybe her color or something. For me, it's just a very helpful thing. You'll see in the video that I will be launching afterwards that has, oh, I don't know, crazy amount of Angels toys. And all those toys, I kept them in here for such a long time. And it was very, very difficult for me to finally put them out in the garage. And that doesn't mean that I no longer honor her, that I no longer love her, that I'm now forgetting about her. Not at all. Instead, I am celebrating. I am celebrating her. I'm celebrating the life we shared. I'm celebrating her memory. That is what is so important to get through the journey of grief, to get through the healing part. Again, I was certainly not a prime example. I was pretty much awful. I dived deep into depression, and it was truly all the experiences that encompassed my experience when she passed that inspired this whole angel paw print for me. I was convinced that all the things that lacked when it happened, I wanted no pet parent to experience again. So that's why Angel Paw Print was born. I want to be here to educate everybody, to make you aware of what is available to you, what options do you have. A lot of time is just that we wait so long because we don't want to acknowledge that that time might be coming. So instead we sort of ignore, and we're in denial. And then bam, it's right upon you. And by that time, you are going to be so emotionally distraught, and you're going to make decisions based upon your pain and despair at that particular time, whether it's as if you had acknowledged or made yourself educated about your options, what things there are to do, where you can go, who can you seek out, where can you get help. All of those things will really take a lot of the pressure off when that day comes to say goodbye to your baby, which is probably one of the most heart-wrenching things that you have to do. They're here with us such a short time on earth, but they teach us so much. I mean, invaluable lessons. For me, it was my first, with Angel, it was my first home euthanasia process that I did at home. And it was very difficult. Like, I was one day, Sunday, we were up in Utah at the resort, thinking I was going to hang there with her. And the same night, I just saw that it wasn't right. I jumped in the car, we packed all the stuff back up, and I drove back down here. And you'll see in the video, it covers this whole journey. And in that time, I knew in my heart, for me, I wanted to do it at home. I wanted her to be at peace. She was the last pet that I had left of every pet that had sort of like followed me through my moving around in the state, like New York, Los Angeles, and here. So she was my rock. Like, she was what kept me sane and alive in a lot of different situations. So I wanted to honor her and give her as little stress as possible. So I kind of frantically was searching online, and I made some phone calls, and this one particular company, Lap of Love, which I highly recommend, with this amazing veterinarian, Dr. Toby Goldman, who works here in Las Vegas, and I will later post links on the on the page. But it was like Angel knew. When he came here, she just smiled. She was just continuously smiling. There was no fear. There was no being scared or apprehensive. She knew that he was the blessed person that was going to help her transition. It was, I can't even tell you, even I got calm for a hot moment there. And it was, I would always do this. I will say that making that decision for me again was the best that I could ever done. Now, having done that, it presents a whole different array of things that can present themselves to you later. A lot of people are very visual, so they don't want to remember, like, look at a certain spot in their home and then think, oh my goodness, that's where so-and-so passed. For me, it's very comforting. I try to put her above me, meaning that is going to be something that I rather deal with, as opposed to having had her in a cold, sterile office somewhere and her being afraid. Instead, she was in her home environment. She had all her fluffy toys. She got all the good little meals everywhere. And yeah, it was just like a great day. I got to spend quality time with her. I highly, highly recommend that process to anybody that is sort of faced with this right now. And very important, I will encourage every person that is either watching or who you know to call me. Like, don't think that it's going to cost you money. I want to stress that. I am here to help. My first and foremost mission is always to reach out to somebody and help them. That has been my whole life. I sort of like always turn towards anybody in need, a weaker person, a weaker animals. That's why I always had a huge love for animals, because they can't speak for themselves. And I'm sure that speaks for a lot of you too. So I think that all in all, please reach out to me. Pick up that phone or shoot me a text. Send me an instant message. I will be more than happy to help you out in that process, or just to be somebody that listens for a minute, to make you realize that you are not that crazy dog lady or crazy cat man or whoever or whatever pet has passed. We're all together in this. It's very important to create a community where you feel safe to express yourself, where you don't feel judged, and where you actually get validation for your grief. You have a right to grieve. That is the most important thing or message that I want to relay to you. In memory of everyone today. So for instance here, this one is actually King's little paw print. He's not gone yet, obviously, but I don't know. I've sort of learned now from this experience that maybe instead of doing everything last minute, throughout the journey that we have together, capture those special moments and capture those times and little things like treats. You come here, sir, for you. Capture those so that when you get to that very last moment, you're already going to have such a rich life and memories, apart from the one in your mind, that it will just be a great collection. You're going to be able to go through that or follow that, and each one is going to have value, and you can put it sort of like into a timeline. I don't want to ramble on too much more, because I could probably sit here forever, which is not a good thing. King, you're hungry? Hungry? Oh, you gotta come get it. Get it. Okay, here. High five. Good boy. Yes. Okay, so in closing, this is a booklet that I got from Lap of Love when Angel passed, and it's called Eternal PawPrint's, and it has a lot of helpful information in here. But I wanted to read this, and it will be a miracle if I get through this, because I tried to read this earlier on today and I just started crying. But this is a letter from your pet to you. It goes, "My dear family, today I am as I was meant to be, young, energetic, full of life, and able to explore everything around me. My legs work perfectly. There is no more pain. And I can run, jump, and play with all my friends. Most of all, there is no regret, no aging, and no confusion. I ask that you not grieve for the loss of what we shared, but rejoice in the fact that we lived and loved each other with unconditional adoration. One touch or kiss from you, one pat on the head, one favorite treat, was all that was needed for a lifetime of unwavering commitment from me to love you and cherish you until my time had come. I am grateful and thankful that our lives merged and we were able to share such special moments together. I will await your arrival, as we are always meant to be together. Please do not hold on to the love that you shared with me, but share it with another," this little guy, "so that I may live on forever in your heart. Remember, to have loved and lost is better than to have never loved at all. With unconditional love, your Angel." Whew, such a mess. Gotta kiss my baby. So with that, I want to encourage everyone, be free to grieve, be free to cry. It's completely normal. And if you just stay on the page a little bit, I will post the video to Angel and her 12-minute documentary of her journey from life, death to cremation. it is very personal, and it's pretty emotional, and I will say that viewer discretion is advised if you're very sensitive to that. But I would appreciate so much from the bottom of my heart, first of all, thank you for tuning in. And of course, how can I almost forget? This is for all the babies that we've loved and lost, or the ones that are still here, but almost are on their way to leave us. We honor you, we uplift you, and you will forever stay within our love, within our heart, within our life. And there will never be anyone like you. So having said that, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an interesting day for me. And again, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always available. If I don't get back to you immediately, please just leave a message, leave a text, anything. I am more than happy to just listen to you, okay? So thank you so much again, and I will do this again soon, okay? Take care. Thank you.